Good, y'all. It's your boy Bum Snuff. It's been a minute since I posted a video on YouTube, but I've been recently I've been playing this whole time, and what's it called? I've been playing, but I haven't really been recording. Sports games haven't really been popping as much. I've been playing Marvel's Capcom Street Fighter a lot lately. I've been always playing those games, and but anyways, I started watching streams. I've been watching streams for years, and I respect the fighting game community. I really do. I compete in tournaments where I'm from in Winnipeg. I play fairly well in them. Won a couple. So yeah, I feel like I respect the community, and I like how it's done. You know what I'm saying? I prefer playing fighting games over sports games because I feel like you are in more control of the game than other games. For example, like a game like Madden, if somebody throws a bad throw, it can get, and your dude jumps up for the pick, he can just drop it, which you have no control over. Like, that's just a stat in the game that says, yeah, he's gonna drop this one, or yeah, he's gonna pick it. Whereas in fighting games, it's really you against the other guy. Like, yeah, like sometimes like tier wise, like his character may be better than your character. You're at a disadvantage, but at the end of the day, you can fix that by just picking a better character, or whatever the case may be, or playing better, etc. That's why I prefer fighting games. But the reason why I made this video was yesterday I was watching a stream. I usually watch it Next Level Battle Circuit over in New York, Team Spooky stream. And recently, one of the hot topics in fighting game community is colluding. And those that don't know what colluding is, from what my understanding is basically the people that are in grand finals are pot splitting, which means they're splitting the profit evenly. So really and truly, they're just playing in a sense for fun, but not really. Like, I mean, yeah, they're still trying. They're still supposed to try, obviously, but they're not. They're still splitting the money regardless. So first and second place, there's no difference in prize payout. That's, from what I understand, what colluding is. But the reason why colluding is bad is because sometimes the people make it so obvious that they're colluding, that they're not trying, that they're splitting the pot, that it's like, well, what's the point of them streaming? They might as well just play the match off stream and go get their money at the wherever the hell they go do it. Now, it's been done at the most recent major tournament has been done at was VXG. I think that was like 2 weeks ago or last weekend or something like that, where Chris G and Flocker, they didn't even play their main teams in the grand finals. So then they put out, all the tournament organizers came together and said, you know, cut it out. And they made it like Evo's, because colluding doesn't happen at Evo, for example. Because Evo is, you know what I'm saying, everybody wants to win Evo, you want to be known as world champion and all that, so nobody colludes it. Everybody tries the hardest, nobody colludes at Evo, so whatever, anyway. So they made it standardized that all the other tournaments, like Seasons Beatings, all those other tournaments, like anything on the road to Evo, if you're colluding, there's going to be consequences. Me personally, I agree that colluding is bad to me, but at the same time, I can't say that I'm not a top player by any means, and I'm not a sponsored player by any means, so I don't know what goes on behind the scenes between players and what kind of agreement that they have. So I understand that, you know what I'm saying, they know more than me, and they feel like they need to take care of themselves, and one way to do that is for everybody to get their money evenly. So I think I can kind of see why they collude. But anyways, back to what I'm saying. Yesterday at the Next Level Battle Circuit, throughout the whole tournament, Chris G was using his main Street Fighter character, which is Sakura. And what's his name? Sanford was counter picking the whole time. From every match I've seen, like, he was using Kami, he was using characters. He had said that on Twitter that he was too. And when they got to grand final, they played even in winners finals, and it was Chris G, Sakura, and Sanford, instead of using Sagat, which is to him a bad matchup, he used two Vipers, he lost. Then he won in the losers finals, got back to grand finals, where Chris G decided to use Yang, and Sanford decided to use Balrog or Boxer, and Spooky wasn't having that. He cut the whole shit off and said, you know what, I'm done. Like, don't play that nonsense on my stream. And I 100% support Spooky in that, because Next Level Battle Circle was one of those places that didn't like sign or wasn't with the consequences of colluding. But what Spooky was saying was, it was so obvious that they weren't trying, like, like, don't play it on the stream, don't waste my time. And I agree. I mean, their arguments were that, you know, Sanford was counterpicking Chris's Yang. Well, Chris didn't even pick Yang in the first place. He should have just picked Sakura. The problem that I have with colluding, and if you want to pot split as a pro player, that's your business. Because, like I said, you guys know more than me personally. I know the most money I've ever won at a tournament was like $100. So obviously, you guys are playing for more money. So you know what I'm saying. You have to support yourself, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you guys aren't playing, like, Chris wasn't playing Yang throughout the whole tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't playing it until money was guaranteed on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it mattered, like, it sounds stupid, but when it gets to grand finals, it doesn't, to them, especially the weekly, it doesn't really matter who wins, because everybody's going to get money regardless. But when you're in, like, the first round or second round or whatever, or even in pools for, like, a major tournament, you have to pick your best characters to get out of pools to be able to compete for money so that you can collude. Because if you want to collude when no money's on the line, all you lose is $20. So, they have to get to where money is guaranteed before they can collude. And Chris wasn't doing that. Like, nobody does that. Nobody's going to pick, unless from this jump, like, the only person that does that was Jay Wong when he was picking up Bison to troll. And he was picking that from the jump, from the start of the tournament to the end of the tournament, win or lose. And I think that's not really colluding, he's just using that character. But whenever the money gets on the line, like, when they're guaranteed money, like, they know they can't lose any money, and they're gonna pot split, that's when they pick their B teams. That's why I think colluding is wrong. And that's why I disagree with the fighting. You know, I understand the players are saying, like, the players make the scene, and 100% I agree. But at the same time, yeah, it's not that the tournament organizers, I don't think they're trying to control you and tell you who you should play or whatever the case may be. But when money's on the line, you're not really choosing. The problem isn't you choosing who you can play. It's choosing when you play what you want to play. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's really, you're competing for their money, because not their money, but they're the ones that are hosting the event, and they're the ones that are in control of the pot. And when you get to grand finals, like, that's when you have a say in what happens. Like, if you lose in pools by picking your C character or B character, that's fine. That's your loss. You lost your 20, whatever the hell the shit is to get in. But once you get to grand finals, like, that's pretty much you're playing for the pot. And then when you want to just pretty much say, well, I already got my money, all I care about is money, then that's kind of disrespectful, not only to me personally, I think it's disrespectful to the scene itself. Because this couldn't happen in the NFL or in NBA. If the San Francisco 49ers make it to the Super Bowl, and if that was a rule, let's just say the NFL had a rule that, yeah, the only time you're guaranteed money is if you make it to the Super Bowl. Only the two teams make money. The only two teams in the Super Bowl make money. Imagine that. Imagine that for the NFL. The only two teams in the NFL that make money are if they make it to the finals, so the Super Bowl. And let's just say that San Francisco and the freaking Baltimore Ravens make it to the Super Bowl. And right when they make it to the Super Bowl, both of the coaches agree to pot split, but don't tell us. They just, like, behind the scenes, yeah, we're going to pot split. And then play all their backups. So all the starting quarterback, starting running back, starting defense, none of them play. The backups play. So the starting people that got them to the Super Bowl don't even play in the Super Bowl. Because why? They're going to make money regardless. Imagine that. The NFL would be dead. Sports would be dead. And I know some people might want to say, yeah, video games isn't a sport, whatever. But the reason why players are colluding is that everybody makes money. But you would make more money if you didn't collude, because in the long run, sponsors are they're gonna come, like, sponsor the events. More sponsors will sponsor the events because people are competing. Like, from what I understand, my very limited knowledge of StarCraft, colluding is not that, like, it doesn't happen that often. Like, people are making, from what I understand, like I said, don't quote me, but from what I've heard, they're making good money Like, some people make a living playing StarCraft over in places like Korea. And obviously StarCraft is huge and bigger or whatever the case may be. But fighting games could be that way, but it's not going to be that way if people colluding. Like, the sponsor's not going to want to come sponsor an event that when it comes to the finals, that the players take it into their own hands and say, okay, we're not trying, we're going to split the money. They're not going to pay for that because nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see a top player not playing at his best. Nobody wants to see that. And people might argue, yeah, well, it's video games are for fun. Yeah, video games are for fun. But when you're in a competition, you're supposed to compete. That's the purpose of the competition, to compete to see who's the best. And how are you supposed to be the best? By not picking your best, not picking your best. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you can pick your B character and try your hardest. That's whatever. And if it's a counter pick, it's a counter pick. But if it's obvious, then why? Like, I don't understand. Like, me personally, I go to tournaments. I don't see fighting games as a means of supporting myself. I don't. If the opportunity presented itself, then obviously I would like entertain it. But right about now, like, especially where I'm at, like in Canada, like, even the way the scene is right now, like, not everybody can live off of just playing fighting games. That's just, right now, that's not the way it is. So I go to tournaments to win. Personally, like, I want to win to be known to be the best and to be known as the best. I mean, that's what I train. That's what I play the game for, is to be the best and for fun, obviously. But if I'm gonna go to competition, I want to win the competition. I mean, that's just me. I want to be known as them dudes like Justin Wong and Chris G's still killing it. But you know what I'm saying? I personally want to be known as that. I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. Like, I'm sure people go to tournaments like, yeah, I want to beat Chris G so I'm known as the best. Like, that's the whole point of competing. Like, that's the whole point. But I guess when money gets involved, people get funny, I guess. If that makes any sense. But anyways, I just want to comment on how I feel about Collusion. I think that, I mean, possibly, and like I said, I really can't really speak on whether or not it's good or bad because I'm not a top player, and I'm just saying, me personally, if someone asked me to pot split, I'd say no, because I know in my heart that if I knew that no matter what, I'm getting money, like the same, even amount of money, I'm just not getting as much as I would if I won. I'm not trying my hardest, but if I know that, if I lose, I'm not getting as much money as that guy, he's getting a lot more than me, I'm going to try a lot harder because a lot more is on the line. That's just me. But anyway, so that's how I feel about Collusion. But obviously they have their own opinions. And I just want to say, like I said, to close this video off, I don't think that the tournament organizers are trying to control people. I mean, sometimes what they do and say I don't agree with. But in this case, I just think that if you make it to the finals, or if you're going to pick a character that you just like to pick for fun, then pick them from the jump. So, like, pick them from the jump, because nobody will care if you lose picking, like, a bad character. Like, if you go to Evo and you pick, like, a character you're not good at as a top player. So let's just say Justin Wong goes to Evo and he picks Bison and Pools and loses. And everyone's like, oh, Justin Wong lost in Pools. Why did he lose? Oh, he used Bison. Oh, okay. Then you'll be like, why did he use Bison for? Didn't he want to win? No, he just played for fun. Like, that's that conversation that will go down. But at the end of the day, nobody's losing. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, people will be like, well, wow, I wish I could have seen him in top 8 or whatever. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because he's hurting himself more than anything. But when you collude in the grand finals or in top 8 or whatever the case may be, you're not really hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're really, you know what I'm saying? It's just dumb, in my opinion. I think colluding is dumb. And I personally would like to see top players perform at their best. I like to see good players win. I'm a sports fan. I watch basketball, football, soccer, all that. And if my favorite player is LeBron James. If LeBron James made it to the finals and just decided to not play just because he knew that no matter what he's gonna get money, the same amount of money as his opponents, even if they win, I would be so mad. Like, I'd be mad at the sport that I watch. And I feel like video games are a sport. Like, to a certain extent, obviously. But I feel like they're the next best thing. I mean, you see people like League of Legends, they need to have work visas. And fighting games could be in the League of Legends and StarCraft realm, but not if they continue to collude. So leave a comment. Sorry for the video being mad long. I just had a lot to say. Leave a comment, all that stuff. My name is Bummer Stuff. Yeah, see ya.